Hello and good day. So, how much car is too much car? Today I'm going to talk about a few mathematical numbers to keep in mind with dealing with a car. Although, if you watch some of my previous videos, you understand that I prefer the idea of having very little amount of car, like the minimum you can get by with before you're financially free and set, and it's able to be a luxury that you can afford without costing you significantly in a different area, is the fact that the average car payment for a car is something like $500 a month over the course of 40 years. That is with 12% average, if you invested that at 12% average a year, which is some pretty decent, which is just using some decent mutual funds that outperform the market or the S&P 500, they are definitely available and is a relatively passive investment idea. It does require you to understand what a mutual fund, I do recommend you understand what a mutual fund is and learn. But just like learning how to drive, why would you not learn eventually how to invest if you're investing? But if you don't, if you're not careful about certain things, then obviously you'll pick up bad habits. But the idea is, it's not impossible, it's not even improbable, but that is a $5 million car that you are, driving for your 40 years, or switching out constantly by having a new car. So obviously I prefer a used car, preferably something on the bottom spectrum of that you can get away with. Now, it is okay and fine for a, say, $2,000 car or a $4,000 car, depending on your situation. Or, even a $5,000 car is a lot of car when you're used to dealing with $1,000 cars. But the idea is, by devoting more money into your vehicle, you could have been using that money elsewhere to establish a more secure foundation, a better chance at financial freedom and getting there faster, and also having the luxury later. $1 million with $100,000 plus income due to your investments, if you have that kind of, financial freedom and foundation, you probably don't have to fear a $5,000 or even a $10,000 car without, however, a few tips to understand. First of all, if more than half of your income is tied up in, give me a moment. If you have more than half your income invested in vehicles, then mathematically you're not going to be able to get ahead. Reason being is because vehicles go down in value so fast that even if you have a $100,000 income, if you have more than $50,000 in vehicle, after you include your cost, basic living expenses, you're pretty much not having enough room to be able to put away money into investments. The idea, if you lose tens of thousands of dollars a year due to your cars going down in value, then you're not really going to be able to get ahead financially. So that is a quick cutoff point, is, if it's more than half your annual income, that is too much. And then, preferably, you would get that lower. A car should not own you. You should own the car. You should own the vehicle. It is a tool, a convenient traveling device or transportation device. It is not as it shouldn't be as valuable as people seem to treat it. And it's not. It's a transportation device. Some of them a little bit more luxurious, a little bit more trustable, perhaps a little bit nicer looking or more durable or something. But it is a product. It is used to go to location A to location B and maybe C while you're at it. But the idea is it takes you to where you want to go and back in a more comfortable, faster, more convenient method or way or manner. The idea being that it is not as valuable to be worth crippling yourself financially. Now, your house is a huge portion of your living expense and the quality and cost and variables. A large portion of your variable to becoming financially free or dealing with finances in general usually comes from your home. Whether you're renting, mortgaging, or actually just, owning your home, the cost of that is very significant. Pretty much no matter where you are, it is a significant cost. Although the prices do vary based on the land value, but the home is more valuable than the car. And even the home is just a place for you to live in, be safe, be sheltered, and be comfortable during your rest time, during your work time if you work at home, or, during your time there, it is safe, comfortable, is the idea. And a storage location also is very useful. So that is also comes with the idea that too much house can be a problem. But too much car is one of the biggest liabilities people purchase. And it is, or usually the biggest liability people purchase. And people give a little bit too much value or investment into a car that is losing them money. So the key point is less than half your annual income, because more than that is pretty much going to be you treading water. You're wasting the effort. You need to get rid of that car. It is owning you, or you are or multiple cars. Usually is how it happens when you get to later life. Is usually you have multiple cars, one for your wife, one for you, or that kind of thing, or one for work, one for travel, whatever it may be. But usually having multiple vehicles is what ends up totaling more than $50,000 eventually, or whatever it is, half your income. But if you have too much invested in your car, you're not going to be able to, due to the value going down, you're not going to be able to actually make a profit, and your profits are going to be heftily reduced. In addition to having a great liability that really is not in your best interest. So hopefully this helps you guys to not put so much, idolatry into a vehicle, a transportation tool that happens to be a little more convenient than a bike or walking, obviously. But to be careful that you don't get car fever, and similar to house fever, and you also don't get too much car. There are a number of people who excuse, I have a kid, so now my $5,000 car is no longer safe, and now I need a $50,000 van. Excuses. I understand, be safe, but your $1,000 car, you're probably going to have to repair it a lot, but that cost is then, if you need to, upgrade to save and upgrade to a $2,000 car. And eventually, a $5,000 car is a lot of car, and it is going to be safe. You're choosing a safe vehicle, and you're choosing something large enough for you, but you're choosing something you can drive, and it's not going to suddenly explode because you happen to have another passenger in most situations. So hopefully this helps you guys. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. If you like to hear more content like this, feel free to subscribe, and have a good day.